Okay, so this is part 3 of the restoration of this Toyota Celica 93. You can see the mess that previous mechanic did on my car and the battery area. It was not secured, so I have to disconnect the negative and then disconnect the positive to be able to put the bracket in place properly. Something that the mechanic should have done. I have to do it myself. It's not that he didn't know how to do it, obviously. It's just that he didn't care to do it uh, the way it was supposed to be done, the right way.
So obviously it was kind of like time consuming, but the thing is that the battery was not properly secured to the car, and that's something that of course is not done like that. You don't leave that bracket hanging around, and then the fuse boxes, one of the fuse boxes actually was connected to the bracket, so it was hanging around in the engine compartment, so I had to secure it the way it was supposed to be secured. And before, actually, I took advantage of that being not attached and clean around the area a little bit. And obviously, even though I'm not a mechanic, I'm trying to the things the right way. At least the things that I've heard that you have to do, like for example, put some grease in the connections, and that's actually not automotive grease. It's just the grease that I use for repairing the my wife's kitchenette, but it's grease, so I don't know why I shouldn't have to use it here. That's better than nothing, obviously. So I just put that grease around the connections so that the connections were good, and there was no rust developing, and you know it's just something that a good mechanic should have done. Not only he didn't do that, he just didn't secure the battery, as I said. So I tried to find new bolts and nuts from the junkyard. I So I finally attached the positive to the battery and make sure everything was connected properly, and then the negative back where it belonged, and tighten it. I have noticed that if you don't tighten this real well, sometimes you may have problems. I have a Toyota Camry that wouldn't start just because the negative to the battery was not tight enough. So that's something that you have to be careful with. And I went from this into this other look, which is the way it's supposed to be. Then I moved into the driver's seat. I already replaced the passenger's one. As you can see, somebody was enjoying already, and I tried to see which were the bolts that I had to remove, and the covers, and I noticed that that was one of those. And as I said before, I've noticed that these kind of plastics in these older Toyotas, like from the 90s, they are very tough to break. It's not so easy. I've noticed that in the old Camrys, which I have the 2001 model, but I have to admit I really like the the 90s look of the Toyota Camry, and I don't know why things don't look the way they used to look like, especially some of these old cars. I wish they would build them brand new again, the same way they were built, not with all this electronic, crap and all this plastic all over the place. I really don't like all that stuff. So just four poles that I had to deal with, and that part of the trunk to open the trunk, and the gas cap lead or cover. That part, that piece in there was not hard. It's just that I didn't notice that there were two screws in there. So after the second was out, it was the fourth bolt was revealed, and all I have to do is leave it. Now the driver's seat has this connection that is I found to the seat belt. So once that was released, I could get the old seat out, and what was revealed was like a nasty carpet full of stains and stuff. So before I put the seat in place, I had to clean it, and then I also have to remove some of the parts of the older seat into the newer one, at least the ones that were not as bad, because nothing was new obviously in either one of them, but there were more like in a better, slightly better condition, like a couple of parts, not many of them, but as you can see, there was a lot of work to be done in this area. Very nasty, very dirty, and it took me a while to clean it, but little by little I was able to get all that crap out of there. The smell was terrible. The person that owned the car, or the persons that owned the car before, some of them or all of them smoked. Of course, the smell was horrible in there. But as I clean it, and I use some products in there, in the carpet, it starts to not to smell so bad, and little by little it smells better. Once you get in the car, you notice that right away. And of course, all that dirt and all that debris and hairs and human cells and all the skin, you know crap that it has accumulated for many years in that car. I don't know when was the last time this was vacuumed, but probably this haven't been vacuumed for years, and I don't even want to know what those stains are. They look like crap to me, like somebody pooped in there. But anyway, I didn't want to think about it. I just went ahead and cleaned to the best of my abilities. I used all the products that I could use. This turtle wax again, even though I'm not impressed with it, but since I have it, it came with the car. Actually, it was in the trunk, and the person that sold it to me said it was like a little present with some seat covers from Walmart, which I returned actually, and they put the money in a gift card. Um, so I used that card for gas, and that was good. It was like $20. But those seat covers are just horrible. In my first car I had some of those, and they will never look good. So there's nothing like the original seats. without any covers or any of that stuff in them. So as you can see, this is the method I used. This is the method that I've seen people use a lot. I used these wipes, disinfecting wipes all over the place in order for the car to be as clean as possible. It's not a professional job, but it is as best as I can job. So little by little, as you can see, the car was looking much better. That carpet was looking much better. And this was the best chance I had to clean all the stuff with the seat removed before I put the newer one in place. I wanted to do all that stuff, take care of it the best I could. So I took advantage of the seat not being there and started to clean the best I could. And the plastic in some areas is pretty faded. This is from the trunk, is the rear piece that goes against the back panel. It's broken, and I thought about getting a new one or another one from a junkyard, and I think I'm gonna pass because it's just a little piece that is broken. So I don't think I'm gonna be that is the area where I was talking about. I don't think I'm gonna be so meticulous with the restoration of this car, and if I find a good deal somewhere, I will get it. But I don't think I'm gonna be doing, as I thought, each and every detail, because I don't have the means, I don't have the knowledge to do something like that. So after I finished cleaning that area, it didn't look that bad actually. It looked much better than it looked before, obviously. And put the original carpet actually that came with the car. That was, as clean as it could be. And it was time to get the seat in there and see if it would fit without any problems. And as a matter of fact, as I installed the other one without many problems, this one was pretty easy as well. The only difference was the little connection that I had to take care of. But after that was done, it was actually harder to get it out without breaking anything. If you've been working with cars, plastic is one of the headaches with all these pieces and these connections that are so hard sometimes to get out. And that was the hardest part. This was not really that complicated. Of course, with one hand is very complicated, so I have to set the camera and record it. But then it was time to secure the seat with the 4 bolts. And that was the connection I was talking about. But again, once the bolts were in place, I secured them. No big deal. The seat was sliding properly. No weird stuff. No problems at all. It was pretty smooth actually. So once everything was secured, I took care of these handles too. This was all screwing back everything where it was before. This is the easy part. And then I tried to take care of some of the things. I bought a radio, but I returned it. I think I'm gonna stay with the original Toyota one. But this little light, I didn't know the cigarette tray has a little light on top, and I want that light to be on. I want that light to be working. That's one thing I really I would really enjoy having. It's just those little details that they don't do like that anymore. I don't think so. So you know I found some lights in the junkyard. The Corollas from the 90s, they also have this system, so I replaced it and it looks really good. I tried it at night and it looks really good. It looks amazing. So it was time to do some vacuuming in the trunk, and as you can see, it was looking good too. Yeah, it was really looking much better. And this is the final result with the seats in place. The car is really looking better and better. It's like a different car inside, and I can see the glory that it used to have. These cars are magnificent. They are excellent cars. They look good too. I love the looks. When I see newer cars, they don't look as good. I don't know what it is, but they have character. And I love the seats. They are very comfortable, very sporty, uh, and I really can't complain about the car. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 4.